do your attack. Yeah, you did. Just like that. Bingo, bango, bongo. Got anytime we can cast a sorcery, so we're going to attack first. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. We're chilling within Mythic today, 751. Amonkhet Remastered just hit Arena. We have a ton of new cards to be farming. We can buy packs, play seals, play drafts. So no matter which way you want to go to be getting these cards, you can get there. Rotation season hits in September. We're getting close to that. This will be the second rotation season within Arena. So the historic card pool is getting massive. And I think this will become the dominant queue within Arena as we progress. However, for those of you just starting out, you may struggle to get into the historic pool because it is so vast and you don't have quite the card pool to get there. So we are talking standard today, and Wizards was nice enough to release 15 new free-to-play decks to you guys. And we're going to go through and upgrade these decks within the following week or two, incorporating rares and mythics that you will only use within top meta decks. We don't want you guys spending your wildcards or trying to farm for wildcards that you will not use in other top meta decks. These decks are great, they're good entry, but they're not going to get you into the top mythic rank, right? We're going to need to be using those top tiered 1 decks to get there. So to do so, we're going to be using these decks to farm and my other free-to-play budget decks. Be sure to check those out as well. However, lots of you don't have the uncommons for that yet, so this is a great start. And I want to show you guys some potential upgrade guides for each of these decks to make them more competitive, get you farming cards at an expedited rate, maybe even competing in some of those constructed and historic events. So with that being said, if you find any value within this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share the channel out to a friend. If you've been enjoying any content on the channel, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. It's a great free way to support me along this journey. We've got everything from free-to-play budget beginner guides, just general Magic the Gathering Arena beginner guides talking about the principles and archetypes behind this amazing game, some of the top-ranked standard decks, the best historic decks, great original Brawl decks, and some tools and tips. And then we even have a little bit of limited. So no matter what you're into within Magic the Gathering Arena, we have you covered. Subscribe to the channel, join for your chance to win up to 500,000 gems. Make sure to check out our Discord and enjoy this video. Hey, today we're looking at Mono White, Keep the Peace. This is the starter deck in Magic the Gathering Arena, and we have done some upgrades to it. But before we get to the upgrades, let's take a quick peek at the original deck and kind of talk about the archetypes and synergies within the deck, just so you guys know how it's operating, and then you'll see how we made upgrades to the deck that don't stray too far away from the strategies or synergies already built within the deck, and we're just trying to exemplify them and make what is already there a little bit stronger through some magnification. So looking at the original deck, we've got a 1/1 with lifelink. We can put a +1/+1 counter on it whenever we play a creature of the same name. So that's pretty cool. So we're talking about +1/+1s and lifelink, and then tactical advantage +2/+2 until end of turn. Target blocking or blocked creature you control gets this. That's all right. Moving on to our 2-drops, we've got Pacifism. Enchant creature can't attack or block, so just a little bit of lane shutdown. The Moorland Inquisitor for 2/2. We can pay 3, give it first strike, so just like kind of a weird creature. Impassioned Orator 2/2. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. So when creatures are entering the battlefield gaining life, the reoccurring situation we're seeing through life gain. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on Hallowed Priest. Hallowed Priest. So that's really good. This is kind of like an Ajani. It's a little bit weaker off the start, but it's the same thing. Fencing Ace, 1/1 double strike, that's fine. Angel of Vitality is a 2/2 with flying. Whenever you gain life, gain that much life +1 instead. And if you have 25 or more, it's a 4/4 +2/+2 on that creature. So a little bit of more life gain synergy. We've got 2 copies of the Warleader. Whenever it attacks, create 2 1/1 white cats with lifelink. Itself is a 4/4, so that's great as well, right? Bond of Discipline, tap opponent's creatures, all of ours gain lifelink, nice. Confront the Assault, instant speed, cast this spell only if a creature is attacking you, create 3 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. Angelic Reward, enchant creature gets +3/+3, has flying. Sierra Angel, flying vigilance 4/4. Spirit Guardian here is a 3/4. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Goring Ceratops for 7, very expensive, double strike, 3/3. Whenever it attacks, all other attacking creatures will gain double strike. The Commander, 1/4. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, draw a card. So that's actually really good here. Then Angelic Guardian, 5/5 flying. Whenever one or more creatures you control attack, they gain indestructible until end of turn. So that is the basic list. We can see that, you know, it's kind of a nice blend of creatures, a little bit of shenanigans defensively to survive and kill his attackers. And then we've also got, you know, some things to shut down his big attackers or defenders to open up our attacking lanes, or just to keep from losing creatures on defense that we can't beat. And then we're like gaining life and making use of that life through triggers, right? You know, we get to a certain amount of life, 25 or more life, then we get a buff, which is cool. Playing small creatures for a draw engine. So stuff like this, right? I mean, you can get into Double Strike and Angelic Guardian, but you know, a lot of these decks come with these really heavy drops that are rare that might not be great, but nonetheless, as a beginner, keep them in your deck and work with what you have. So this was our beginner version. You guys are all going to have access to that, right? You've got that in your game now called Keep the Peace. Check it out. Let's back out though and begin to take a look at our upgraded version, which actually performed really, really well. So again, if you don't have the complete deck list here, don't worry about it. Keep your original deck list and then just start adding the cards that I've incorporated into your list. You don't need the exact numbers, just add them in there as you get them. If you have more than what I've added, you know, I do suggest going up to 4 of a kind always, excuse me, as well. So we've added Speaker of the Heavens. This is a 1/1 with Vigilance and Lifelink, so we're staying true to the life gain. We can also tap it to create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activate this ability only if we have at least 7 or more life than your starting life total, and only anytime you can cast a sorcery. So that's similar to the Angel of Vitality, where if we have a certain amount of life, things just get better and easier for us, and creating those 4/4s at 27 life will be really, really nice. We did see the blocking creatures getting +2/+2. We've exchanged that for Righteousness. Target blocking creature gets +7/+7 until end of turn. So it's really cool to lay that in on our Speaker of the Heavens, and we're immediately ready to make angels like on turn 3, right? So very, very cool shenanigans there. Giant Killer, this is great. Not only is it a small body that can tap your opponent's creatures, opening up your attacking lanes or stopping his attackers, but it also can destroy a target creature with power 4 or greater for us. We've also added Basri's Solidarity, just like as a little bit of a universal buff to give all of our creatures +1/+1 counter on them. We kept the Priest, we love it. We kept Pacifism, it's alright. We could go with a different exile effect potentially. We've incorporated Daxos, which is only an uncommon. Its toughness is equal to your devotion to white, and whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain 1 life, so that's really nice. We've also tossed in a couple banners, which are also common. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures of the chosen color get +1/+0, and we can tap the banner to add a mana of any color. So this actually makes all of our creatures a little bit stronger on the attack, which is pretty cool. 2 copies of Linden, which is absolutely broken. 3/3 Vigilance. Whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life. Combo's great with Hallowed Sun Crowned, 5/5, indestructible as long as your devotion to white is less than 5. Hallowed remains an enchantment and not a creature. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control, and we can also pay 2 to give another target creature lifelink until end of turn, which is amazing. And then we already talked about the Angel getting a little bit buff if you know, we get 25 life or more. We keep the Warleaders, we think that's nice. Now we trimmed a lot of the 5-drops. We made the deck a little bit more aggro style. We trimmed some of these goofy 5-drops, which didn't really seem to in place. We're keeping the Angelic Guardian. You know, it's a rare. If you guys are brand new, I don't want to be taking the rares out of your deck just because I don't think they're good. You know, they're still a lot of fun to play with, so enjoy them while your deck can support them. The Inspiring Commander is actually surprisingly good and, you know, meshes quite well with the deck. So if I was going to drop one of these massive cards here, it would probably be the Ceratops or the Guardian. Probably primarily the Ceratops. I love the Commander. It's working out so good to draw extra cards. And then we already talked about the Ceratops, you know, just giving everything double strike, which is good if there's no defenders, but most time they will. But again, if there's no defenders, it's just fine to smash in because our banner will make things stronger, and then this will give it all double strike. And if he doesn't have defenders, then that should be good game. However, you know, it doesn't do anything when it enters the battlefield, so it's going to come in and our opponent's just going to remove it before it gets a chance to really take effect and give us an advantage, in my opinion. So that's why I don't really like a lot of these big drops that don't immediately have an effect. At least if we play this commander and then say the Warleader attacks to create the cat tokens, those 2 cat tokens then trigger the commander, we draw 2 cards. So at least you can get that out and triggering stuff on the same turn that it's played, whereas the Ceratops without haste is just a body to be removed, so to say. So that is the deck. We have also incorporated 2 Castle Ardenvales. So again, if you have more of these cards, maybe not the castles, you don't want too many of those, but if you have more clerics, right? If you have more Helioids, more Lindens, increase the number of those within the deck. The Giant Killer as well. Don't be scared to mix and match and form your own deck based on your own collection. Generally, you're going to do okay unless your opponent has mass removal that you can't keep up to within your matches, but you'll see within today's footage that this is a very powerful deck. For starters, with the upgrade guide, that's rotation proof. So check this out in the Play Standard 2021 queue and let me know how you do. Let's try to talk about some of the strategies and synergies within the deck now that we've broken down the keep the peace free-to-play starter deck upgrades. You know, my favorite move, and I think we touched on this already, was Speaker of the Heavens into a block with Righteousness. Your opponent's like, well, I'm 2/2. I'm going to smash through this Speaker. He's not going to block, and if he does, I'd love to kill it. And then boom, all of a sudden it becomes an 8/8 with lifelink. You go to 28, and you can immediately tap to make those angels. That is going to result in a lot of concedes. It's a good time. We talked about the Giant Killer for removal, which is great. And then, so Linden, whenever a creature attacks, because all of our creatures are white, we're going to gain 1 life, which then will trigger our Helioid before the attacks land. So then we can put the +1/+1s on things that have a lifelink, like Speaker of the Heavens, like Charmed Stray, to help them survive. And again, whenever we gain life organically, the Priest will get a token. So get creatures out, defend, gain a bunch of life, make angels if you can. If not, still use Righteousness to get the kills. Even having it on Charmed Stray just to gain the life is pretty cool, because you'll pull the Speaker out eventually. And you don't necessarily need to gain the life when the Speaker's on the field. You can gain it beforehand. And then just really try to stack that Devotion, get into a Helioid, which will make all of your weak creatures much, much stronger, which is nice. Getting the Angel to a 4/4 should be no problem, and then Helioid can push it up to a 5/5, 6/6, 7/7. If Linden's on the field quite quickly, and you should be able to kill your opponents with very little resistance. And it should be pretty easy. So that is the general deck guide. Other synergies, I also talked about the commander. When the Warleader attacks, it creates 2 tokens. Those 2 tokens will trigger the commander, which is pretty nice. The angels don't trigger because the power's 4 and it needs to be 2 or less. So really, like the Charmed Stray, the Giant Killer, the Speaker, the Priest, Daxos, these all trigger it, even the Angel of Vitality, which is quite nice. So there's a lot of cards that we can be drawing off our Inspiring Commander. This is my favorite heavy drop, and the Ceratops and the Guardian are my least favorite. If you had rares to replace them and you didn't know what cards to get rid of, it's these 2 right here. That's where I would start editing the deck and then work our way back. We've got the sideboard. We're only playing best of 1 today, but I wanted to bring in some other potential upgrades for you guys as well. Baneslayer, Flying First Strike, Lifelink. That's great, right? If you had Baneslayers, I would drop one of these and put a Baneslayer in there. That's way better. Basri's Lieutenant, we're creating tokens on everything. This is just a great way to get some additional value. 4 is a little expensive, but regardless, it's good. Glorious Anthem, creatures you control get +1/+1. That's similar to the banner, no mana, but we get the defense point. Basri Ket is amazing, puts counters on stuff. We can make a mass amount of counters based on the amount of attackers we have. And I think that is it. Oh, Prince Charming as well. And then Fairy Guide Mother to give flying to things. So a couple other potential ideas for you guys if you're looking for upgrades and you don't have these cards. Before we get into today's gameplay footage, I want to thank you for your time and attention. Today has been a very weird day. This video took 4.5 hours to make because we were fighting with my internet and then my computer. So it has been frustrating nonetheless. We pushed through it though. We did get it done. So I'm really happy about that. Big shout out to all of our support on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube financially, making this a reality. You guys are the best. Big shout out from not only myself, but the community who enjoys the content. 500k gem giveaway is taking place at 10k subs. Join the Discord to learn more about that. I'm live every morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. At 7, we go live on Twitch. And then at 6 p.m., we're live back again on YouTube. At 6 a.m., it is on YouTube to begin the day. And then again to end the day. And in between, we're on Twitch and in the Discord. Links for everything in the description below. Thanks for listening to me babble yet again, you guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this Keep the Peace free-to-play Magic the Gathering Arena starter deck upgrade guide. Let me know how I did, if you do anything differently, etc., etc. Enjoy today's gameplay footage, and don't forget to watch to the end for our final thoughts. Enjoy. Let's see how we make out with mono white today. Getting Daxos in play right away. Hallowed as well. I guess we could probably... No, let's push Hallowed. Our opponent has an Elcid, Life's Bounty in play. 2 planes, so mono white versus mono white. Let's see where we get with it. Not really sure what we're waiting on here. This is riveting footage for you guys. Just passes his turn. Let's play our Hallowed. We can attack here. He has his own Hallowed. Very nice. We're going straight to our Warleader. Right, this should be enough devotion. We hit for 8. That's a big boy hit there. And we still have a decent... Ooh, Hallowed's Intervention. Can't attack or block, and we've got to tap it. Okay. So, let's strike in. Right, that's our first situation. And this actually shuts down his ability as well. Very cool. It's also great that Hallowed's punishment is taking down Hallowed. We're just getting this damage through. We play a few on top, and there's our first win of the day. Not so bad. 2 lands, plenty, let's be honest. Umori, probably creature-based deck, I'm assuming. Let's see how it works out, though. Another land into a creature. I'm actually just so excited because our internet is being stable, and we've been trying to record this deck for 4.5 hours now, almost 3.5, sorry. A long time, regardless. Right, longer than I'd ever want. We just buff right now, go crazy. We know he's mutating, so he doesn't want to really block anything. I say we go ham. And now, because the damage is so high, he may want to block, but he doesn't. which is great. Priest goes up to 4, so even if he does, you know, like the Migratory Greathorn, it's a 4-4. Sorry, 3-4 on his end, so we should be able to kill him and still survive. And he's not going to want to block here, other than the Charmed Stray. That's just generally annoying. So enters or dies. So I think we still just smash in with the Stray still, try to pull the block. No block. Priest is up to 5. Greathorn's ready to play. Hopefully not the Shore Shark. That would be heartbreaking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite the Sterix yet. Another Greathorn pulls 2 land. And he's left with 3 available mana if he taps. Doesn't he have to block here? So we still hit for 7. Which is a lot. Even with Asterix, I think we have him in such a position that we're going to be okay. Unless he floods the field with defenders, we can grab one of them, right? Should be okay. There's the Sterix. Absolutely lovely. 2 lands. Plus 3 permanents? Yes, 2 of them are creatures. He could cast something for 2 still. Right? As long as it has... Ooh, I should have kept my mouth shut. But he now taps his Sterix there. But he's going to flood the field with more blockers, right? That's the game plan for him. Hopefully it's all lands, baby. He's pulled a lot of land from the library already. Ooh, 2 of them were lands, but now he's got those 4 blockers. That's so annoying. Right? Very much so. And now he can Sterix out on 1 life. Nice, bro. Just in time. This is so busted. We had another Pacifism. That would be cool. We get to take out 2 things, but if he's got another Mutate in hand, it's just gonna snowball on us, right? All 3 have to block. Yikes. I think this game is over. Good game. Even with 1 life, he has absolutely smashed us. If we could pull a flyer, you know what I mean, and dodge this Shore Shark somehow. Nope. Gem Razor's got reach. That's not happening. And I'm sure he's got more Mutate here as well. So let's see how big he can get. You gotta love it, right? Maybe an Endrace Forerunner, give everybody haste and vigilance and all that shenanigans. Definitely. Ghidorah, aka Aluna. Toss that Sterix in the air. Limits our ability to hit him with Flyer like we wanted, much like the Gem Razor does. And he's flooding the field again. Flooding the field again. Right. Woof. Down to 18 cards. I think he could just have lethal here. Maybe not. Play Umori, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 available potentially if it's a mutate. Cool. Now if we had a Shatter the Sky in hand, that would be the coolest thing I've ever done. So we need to keep up both Righteousness. Just so we can gain 14 life. Or 14 extra life, I should say. Oh, nice. Attaboy. Organically from the hand. Does big hits, boy. I kind of want to get beat up. Oh, Lord. I mean, it doesn't really do much. It helps, but it's not enough. Oh, goodness gracious. Whew, still at minus 25. Our opponent goes first, 2 land, not really great, but we have the banner. So if we can pull that 3rd land, it kind of pushes us up, right, into that 4th and 5th. Mono red. Annoying. Daxos can defend. Hopefully it doesn't get immediately removed. Oof. So we need to push Daxos up right away. That Celebrant can kill it. No. He nukes us anyways. Oh, gets an Annex. And a Steamkin. This is bad news bears, boys. This is as terrible as this situation could ever possibly go. Pacifism goes on Annex. Even though that ability will still be around, which is gross. Yeah, Priest goes to 2, push it to 3. Play defensively. Annex, Emerald Cleave is going to be coming up, which is just going to ruin us. I guess we just take the trade. Annex is annoying. Another splitter. I call it a splitter, but it's just a spitter. It's been a long day. What do we even do here? We need to just shut down this Annex. He's still at 20 life. That's gross. I don't even know. Like, I can't see him wanting to lose his Annex to our Daxos, right? Unless he's sitting on a Torbrand in hand. Which would be brutal, let's be honest. And of course, he's not going to play it till next turn. Woof. He can still use the mana. And we're at 20 life still, I guess, which is nice. Lots of his stuff can't block. Careless Celebrant sure can, though, to kill the Angel. Annoying. Heliod is potentially good here, but we're in a really tough spot. You have to make the most out of it, I guess, though, right? Just start hitting that lifelink hammer while keeping our defender in play. Now our Angel gets around the Celebrant, which is good. 4, 5. If we can pull a land, we're into our Guardian or our Commander, which might be good. Yikes. Killed the Spitter. Big damage. That's fine though. One, 2, 3. Not really enough. Oh, it is. Snap! 3 land available. He's fully tapped, so I say we just go in with the Hida. Put it on our big boy. For 10-17, that is lethal. Unless he has some form of removal. And that was a pretty sloppy match by us as well. Nonetheless, a little bit of life gain against mono red gets the job done. Free land. Yeah, we've got a 1-drop plus our righteousness, which is pretty cool. Just spaz out because our internet's finally working for a second. Oof. Could it be just a gross amount of shenanigans? Let's hold up our removal. I don't know if we'll need it or not. Is it mutate with hexproof the whole day, or is it going to be some other shenanigans? Wow. This is just frightening at a certain point. If it is something else, we can tap it. Okay, kills us. But he does end up taking the cat over the giant. Weird flex, but okay. So, this doesn't really matter. Right, he's just taking one of the righteousness. That's his only choice. He sees our hand, though. That's the bummer. Of course he does. Druids have hexproof, can't target them to tap them, in spite. And, yeah, he's getting the job done here. Going through our whole little hand. Maybe pass the turn. Play the veteran for 6 and then play the priest on top. Garrick is very good. And what I would say is a good game. You can just -3. Oh! It hurts just to think about. Gross.
Stay on the trail.
It's got a dog army over here now. Just be sad about this match. I guess use our righteousness to do nothing. We get bullied. The hand hate, the destruction. It got us good. We're just gonna let him attack.
Sharp my axe is.
Brutal. This guy's been conspiring with our internet provider. Guaranteed. Backs. All right, let's rock and roll. Charmed Stray in play. Priest up next, curving into our commander. And 6 is actually a lot to get to, if I'm being honest. It's weird. Let's take the hit first. Play the priest on our second main phase. 2 commanders, that's not good. Yikes. We've got a cycling deck, it seems. Hey, at least we're pulling a little bit of land, yes? Should we just go for it? Probably. Here for 4. Priest goes up to 3. Takes a draw. We're playing 4, 2 lands away from our commanders. And then we need to be pulling these 1-drops on top of them. So I am going to play a Charmed Stray to buff up the other. We hit for 6, down to 9 potentially. Perfecto. He takes his draw, that's fine. Self-mill. 2 land off the top. I mean, I guess that is what we wanted. He's got a nice defender in play. Which, I mean, seems weird to be doing this, but let's just make it so he can't block. It is a full-size hit for 8. I feel like there's some interaction here. It isn't unsummon. Annoying. Get that back in play. We still have lethal next turn unless he's got some more blockers or shenanigans. Mono white. Upgrade guide. We go first to land with our Speaker Righteousness combo. I dig it. I'm into it. I hope he tries to attack through it. That would be fun. He's got some mono white. Okay, interesting. Skip our turn. A Worthy Knight as well. Do your attack. Yeah, you did. Just like that. Bingo, bango, bongo. Got anytime we can cast a sorcery, so we're going to attack first. Well, actually, maybe not. This knight is annoying. No attacks, let's just push out our 4/4. Got him. 4 land, opponent goes first, but look at these 1-drops. Ooh, 3/3 defender. Wow, that's like a really good defender. Linden will help. Power at 4 or greater, and it can attack as though it didn't have defender. Nice, he's got the removal as well. Dirty dog. Oh, stop it. We can't do anything here. He's got defenders we need to pacify. Right off the top, baby. Gain as much life as we can. Down to 15, we're at 18. Serpent for 3, that's pretty good. We could have a righteousness. How awesome would that be to push our speaker up? Oof. More removal. Dirty dog. And it's not 4 or greater. That frustrates me. Right? Doesn't it? Ay, caramba. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Okay, that's actually good for me. Right? It's gonna push up. Now we just get to annihilate it. Thank you. Still gets the land, though, is the thing. But we've got it off the field, and the Stonecoil Serpent is powerful. You mutate on top of it, it's even better. No blocks again, sadly, though. We're at 5. This is 6. We're getting closer to the Ceratops. Doesn't really shut down much, but it is good. Let's mitigate some of that damage that he did. We can chump block with the 1/1 that we can make with the castle. Nice. That's our second top deck pacifism. Wow. Like, regardless of how this game goes, we're putting up. Are you serious? Taking the 3 damage down to 10. The plot thickens. This Gargaroth, though. We have to keep 2 mana up always to tap it. Okay. Getting those hits in. He's down to 7. We're at 12. We can tap the Gargaroth. What? Wow. That's so good. All right, we need that third pacify off the top. What a life. 3 Gargaroths off the top. That's incredible. Oh, a Giant Killer! And we could tap his... and hit with the Warleader and his tokens. That's a good match of Magic. 2 land, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 drops, I should say. These cats are pretty fun as well, I'm not gonna lie. Daxos is better, let's play him first. Got that cat life going on. You know your opponent's got removal when. We try to get that 1 damage. We do. Very nice. He didn't play anything. Goes to 3. Okay, okay. Let's play the priest. We gain life, he goes up. Let's play the cat, we gain life again, he goes up, plus the other cat goes up. Looking good. Now let's try to trade and take this out. It can create a 1/1, which is fine. Just get that out of the way. We gain more life, so the priest goes up again. Now already at a 5/5. We're still worried about removal. Well, I guess there goes a little bit of it. So the Devotion of Annex drops there. Gets a little easier to kill, I suppose. Single target on the priest is scary. But I guess if he had it, he would play it. And then that means that if he doesn't, our Warleader should be safe to go. And so when the Warleader attacks, it will re-trigger Daxos and then the priest again, which is cool. So I guess we're probably seeing a chump block here. We get in for 2. Alright, doing our best. Our opponent's got 4 cards, Bone Lurker in play. We got some mutate going on here, maybe. It's a 4/4. Shuts down our Warleader. But then he takes 9 damage on the side. It'll be 10 and 11 with Linden, I'm pretty sure. 12 maybe even. Let's figure it out here together. Oh, more than that, because the Warleader will still trigger. Right, just kind of goes from bad to worse. This priest clicks up quite quickly. And that's going to be the replacement for a Johnny, basically. Three land going first. Sure, Righteousness, no one drop though. The Ozolith. Interesting. He thought he was going to trade with it. Going to 4, on our way to 6. It's just so aggressive. Linden is busted. Down to 10. We hold up Righteousness still. Good game. Our opponent goes first, that's fine, because we have an amazing defensive play waiting for him. Building to 4 for our Warleader. Well, counters are never fun. Double Righteousness, that would be groovy. Simic, is it mutate? We should attack, even though he could flash block. The chances of that are slim. And in best of 1, you kind of just have to go for it. Okay, it's an adventure deck. Brazen Borrower. He's fully tapped here, though, almost, I guess. Nothing to worry about, at least. Warleader's up. We're gonna act like the Snapper can attack through our Daxos. He's got 6 mana, so I'm sure he can get the draw off this. We go in with our lovely Speaker of the Heavens. Probably should have used Charm Stray in case he had something. Oh. Well, that's actually a bummer, because he's not attacking or defending, so he still gets it. Whereas if he did target the Speaker, we still could have gotten it, because the defender's already been declared. Just casual 15 life gained. Oh gosh. Oops, a little late to the match here, my bad. What do you do? Our opponents milled us for 4, now playing it as the defender, and we just played our Charmed Stray. Nothing very excitable. Let's hold up our Righteousness to defend. We'll take the 2 life. Four land, building to 6. Another mill. A couple good things there. You got our Linden. Our 3rd cat, which, you know, would have actually been cool. I'm not a proud man, I'll admit it. Keeping our Pacifism. I don't know, he's got to have bigger threats than this. We're at 5. One more to 6. Takes a main phase draw. I guess it's looking for land. Doesn't find it. Hellioid is amazing. He's tapped. No defenders. We gain life. Put tokens on the cat. And that's a done deal. Let's push the 1 to 4 so it can kill one of these defenders. Of course he would. Sitting on the Pacifism. He takes a draw, which is great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 land. Ready to drop 6 and then 7. 40% chance to draw land. Not so bad. The Gargoyle. So that is a perfect example of something we want to pacify. No land. Daxos is good, though. It's going to bring out our Hellioid, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 5. Let's lock down the Gargoyle. Hopefully no counterspell. Defending against the counterspell. Hits us with the unsummon. That's just as good. Not quite. We get to smash in. Right? More life. Takes us, what, to 33? We still have 39 cards in deck. Takes another main phase draw. Again, I can only assume looking for land. I think he also has something in his hand. Let's try to push our Hellioid. It hits. Gain life. Put a counter on stuff. Which is always great, right? Let's push up this Stray. Another unsummon in hand that we can see. Pushes it to Hellioid. Let's activate his ability on Daxos. Just a little bit more life gain, why not? I guess actually we could have replayed it. That might have been better, but not sure it matters much. Probably would have been a lot better to replay it, but let's just pretend it doesn't. He kills his own Gargoyle. Oops. More main phase draws. Normally we like to draw on our opponent's end step. Teferi's Tutelage. Okay, a little bit of mill, a little bit of mill. Land and Banner. Bummer. This is just a nuclear combination for 6. Good game. Keeping the counters on our life gain. Daxos off the top for us, doesn't matter. Oof. Cats are up to 4. Let's push Daxos up to 4 as well. He's just done with it, lets us hit him. Let's put one on Linden. Let's put some more on the cats. $31 cards left. 54 life. Mirror Maid on the tutelage? That's actually really cool. I like that. He's going for it. We'll give him that. It's another 4. Down to 22. Ooh. That's, like 6 or 12? 16? Getting close. By golly. Nice. Does he have something more here for 1? The ultimate win? Another Secret Keeper? Opt gets it. He draws a card and we mill for 4. That leaves us with 2. Now he's tapped. And now we smash him. Good game. That's incredible. That was so close. Right? Whoa, so close. A little heavy on the back end, but if we can just draw some more early game interaction, we should be okay. I don't think it's worth it. Poliwag. We could have kept that in hand. Right? And then destroyed it once he mutated onto it, made it a bigger creature. Let's just try to push and tap it, and make those angels and get the kill that way. He can mutate for 4. Yeah. Okay, angels getting shut down. Poliwag goes in the air. No Sterix, though, as long as he's not pulling green, right? Shore Shark's annoying. Meh. Pull a Warleader off the top would be ideal. He may as well attack because we can just tap it. Tapping his Dream Tail. So he draws, and we have to sack here? Yeah, just bummer. We should have kept the Giant Killer in hand to destroy it. I hope we pull our second one. It's almost like this doesn't matter. Such a bummer. Not good. Nice. We're not going to get to 27 life. Good game. Keeping 7. Wrapping right into our banner. We've got 1, 2, 3. If we can pull another 1-drop for after our banner, that's awesome. Oof. Takes our banner or our Daxos? Maybe the priest? I don't know. Probably Daxos. The most important part is he realized that our hand is complete trash, and it's no longer a threat. He's like, which thing of here's threatening? I don't know what to pick. This angel's really nice. Oh, and he grabs that. Nice. Good snag, good snag. I mean, the banner's still nice. Just an opt. That's fine. It's to scry 1, which means looking at the top and choosing to keep it there or put it on the bottom of your library. We hit for 5. More lands. It's annoying, and I hate it. Good hit, though. Down to 8. A castle would be cool, I guess. We have to have all the land. Instant speed on our end step, that's great. You know he's rocking counter spells. Some instant speed destruction. What is this shenanigans, bro? Yeah, bummer. Right as we get close, too. Down to 5. He's still cycling through his deck, which is really good for him. We've not really seen much from him, though. 2 Remorses, 2 Ops, a Rain, an Eliminate, a Tome. Classic Rewind on a Charmed Stray. Drawing a card. He wants a bounce. Something. An opt. Just really digging for an answer. To the bottom is always a good situation. Down to 2. Let's keep this in our hands. Right? Just as a fake out. He can draw through his tome again. I mill? A little late for that, my friend. He gets the draw, which is good. 3 mana. Nothing great for us on the top there. He's at 4. Let's just try to finish it. Removes it. Is this the start of a comeback? No way. Creature off the top sucks. Don't you dare. Okay, draws a card. I hope it's a land. You should be scrying. Land, and then Linden. Linden hurts. Oof. Nice. He's going the distance here. He's making a comeback, you guys. We've got 39 left. Speaker and an angel off the top. Not good. Warleader off the top. Stop it. Giant killer. Pacify. Probably a land on top now. Solidarity, which we can't use. Whew. Bomber. And I'm sure there's more removal here, right? We got him close. That's crazy. Commander off the top. That sucks. Land, land. Finally a good mill. Wow. Ageless Insight. Another draw. Gains 4 life, up to 6. We mill 2 plus, you know, a bunch more because of the Insight. No, it doesn't trigger. More land. Awesome. Alright, I think this is probably game. That's such a bummer. We got so close. Our second commander's in the grave now. Another tutelage. Yeah, let's just let him mill us out. We know he's got counter spells and, you know, all that jazz. Just eating our deck alive. Oh, stop it. Yeah. Woof. He's a pretty nice guy, though. Never mind. I was gonna say he's gonna leave us one to draw. Absolutely not. This kills us as well, because when we go to draw, we can't. Let's give him another good game. And look at these Teferi stacks. Woo! Hashtag tutelage. That's crazy. Oh, it doesn't force the auto loss there. The mill is not. Okay, I see. It's not a draw. It's just the mill. Alrighty, 3 land. Opponent goes first. I hope they try to smash us and we get a quick win through our speaker. Playing defensively, maybe just building into our Linden. We'll see if there's attacker or not, right? No attacker, we go in with our priest. If there is, we might play defensively. But Izzet has access to burn, shocks, you know, Scorching Dragonfire, all that jazz. So his non-creature probably just kills us anyways, so let's just try to go for it. This way, when he uses some mana to kill one of our creatures, we still have one. We're not left with nothing. Right? If we kept our righteousness out, we would have done nothing and just got hit for 3. Which we still will, but He should be using that defensively. There's a counterspell here. I'm gonna die. Nice. It's still tapped though. So I get our 2 damage in. I mean, we've got a huge life gain. Double strike though, hey? Interesting. Anticipate, brings Riddle Form in. Gets to look at the top 3. 1 in the hand, rest on the bottom. We get the kill on the Wolverine, which is nice. At least I hope. As long as we can get our blockers declared. Yeah. So if he casts anything, we can just throw another one on in response. Maybe he should have buffed up more. But if he removes it, he's just pulling a burn spell on a 1/1 cat at that point. Woof. I almost wish we went for it, right? Up to a 4/4 now. Cycling, that's fine. Again. These are sorceries, which buff his deck archetype up, having those in the graveyard. I wish we would have doubled Righteousness. I didn't expect a Speaker to come off the top. We have 2, and he already dealt with 1, so I kind of threw that out the window. Whoa, 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 whoa. Settle down. So returning instant or sorcery from the graveyard to his hand. He takes the shock. He would. And there's the land for it, of course. Could be worse. The 6/6 is annoying. No attacks. Let's just give him a nice. We'll do the Righteousness block again on this Overlord. The weird wired creature. Alright, going wide. I'm sure he's got something in response to this, but we still have to try. Yeah. Bummer. I mean, our priest survives, I guess. He just straight up beats us in a race, which is really bad. We need to pacify this token of his. Oh, 2 of them? Good game. That's a bummer. Nice. Just smashes us. Even with a pacify, it's not enough. I love how we get it. He has an instant or sorcery. We'd still just lose our priests regardless. We need to top deck yet another giant killer or pacifism. Big money, big money. Oh my gosh. Is it our turn for a comeback? If he can just top deck lands and give us some, you know, Leonin Warleaders, some meat and gravy. The scry here is really good for him. To the bottom's good for us. He can double do it. Oh no. To the top, that's a good game. Opt. Gross. He can draw a damage spell. Ugh. Ooh. We get it, but if he's got another spell here, we're screwed. We do get lucky with our playline, right? He only gets 1 scry, stays on the top. That's game. We have no reach. We got close. Right. Taps us, brings us 3-3 out. We got close to stabilizing, but just that consistent output from Riddle form gets us. So, mono white, keep the peace. I think this is a easy deck to upgrade and actually really friendly. It works very good. Obviously, I want to take it 1 step further, and I want to trim these rares that don't do anything, like the Guardian, like the Ceratops, and start to incorporate more things that do. Right, more Warleaders, more Angels, more Lindens, more Speakers. Just anything that we've already incorporated. We want to buff those numbers up to 4, make it much more consistent, right? And then drop some of these goofy offshoot cards. So they're still cool. They're fun to play with if you're a beginner. You know, you don't have any rares, use the ones you have. They're awesome, right? But if you are looking to make the deck the best it could possibly be, that's how you're going to do it, is by dropping some of these goofy cards and increasing Linden, Helioid, Daxos, Speaker of the Heavens, Giant Killer, all up to 4, just to increase the consistency of it. We've got some other suggested upgrades for you guys if you don't like this direction. That's the beauty of Magic. Nothing's set in stone, and you can go literally any different way, which is really, really cool. There's so many different ways that you can go with every single deck. So you just kind of have to make the decision for yourself, take inspiration from other places, and do what feels right for you. So again, I really appreciate your time and attention here with me today. Thank you so much. It's been a struggle, but we made it through. Some really great gameplay footage once we did get our internet figured out and our computer. So that's awesome. I appreciate it. You know, big shout outs to our Twitch, Patreon, YouTube membership supporters, making this a possibility. That's absolutely amazing. Really looking forward to running away from this internet and getting into some better shenanigans, right? So thank you for your time and attention, and we will see you tomorrow with some more free-to-play starter deck upgrade guides in Magic: The Gathering Arena. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, and hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. We're live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m., 7 we go live on Twitch, and then 6 p.m. we're back on YouTube. All Mountain Standard, 500k gem giveaway, and also free to entry tournaments with cash prizes. Just join the Discord, everything's in there. Links in the description. Take care, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace!